All right. Hi, everybody. Dan Marcus. I'm very excited to be kicking off and hosting the 2021 XNAT workshop. The workshop is something we've been doing as part of the XNAT program for over a decade now. So showing here on the left was our first workshop back in 2010. Uh, the green shirt was our first swag we ever put out. And this is a screenshot from one of the talks. I think Tim Olson was giving this one on XNet installation, and I think it was about a 3-hour session. So if nothing else, we've improved the process of installing XNet because it no longer takes 3 hours to walk through how to get it installed. A couple of years later, we hosted another workshop in St. Louis, kind of called it Camp XNet. Here's some of the folks who are attending. You can see a number of them were wearing their green shirts as second-time attendees. This was the first time we actually really did everything live with folks starting up XNets, running XNets, installing them, customizing them. We had everything virtualized on these little thumb drives, which back in 2012 was actually kind of a pretty advanced way to think about how to run a workshop. A few months later, we hosted another workshop. This was our first one that we did abroad in Munich. The only pictures I could find was me holding beer, so I'm not sure how productive of a workshop it was, but I know that Rick and I had a very good time there. 2016 was another workshop in St. Louis. You can see here Jenny Gurney giving a talk on some of the C&DA operations, one of our big XNet installations. And these videos from the 2016 workshop are still up on YouTube, and people watch them quite a bit. They're still relatively current and a great way to start getting a background on XNet. We then hosted another workshop in Europe, in Rotterdam. Here's some of the gang. I actually could not find my Rotterdam shirt, so I was sad about that. But you can see it's a gray one here. So just to kind of get everybody thinking about using the chat, for those of you who've been to XNAT workshops before, just pop on the chat the color of your first XNAT t-shirt, whether it was your green 2010, your royal blue 2012, your dark blue 2016, or your gray 2018. So just drop it on chat. I want everybody to be excited to engage with us throughout this workshop. You know, this is our first time we've ever hosted one of these as a virtual thing. There's some negatives with that. It's a lot shorter. We've usually done 5 full days and lots of different kinds of sessions, many of them very hands-on. And as a kind of rule, we interact a ton, and they're very back and forth kinds of sessions, lots of working group kind of meetings. That's a little harder to do in the virtual context, but we're going to do our best as we have different tools for Zoom and spatial chat for engaging between attendees and those of us hosting the workshop. There are some positives as well. It is shorter, which is kind of nice in that people who can't travel for a full 5 days are able to attend a shorter number of sessions. And as the same, by not having to travel, we have many more attendees. In the past, our workshops have usually been in the 70 to 80 person range. I think we have over 250 people registered for today's workshop. So excited to have many more people than we typically had. For those of you who don't have a t-shirt color to drop in the chat, you can just drop in and say, hey, I'm a newbie. I'm particularly excited and particularly wanting to welcome you to the workshop today into the XNAT community. I think you'll find that as a community, we really are very supportive of new people jumping in, and you'll have plenty of time to interact with us tomorrow at the poster session. So there's a few particular ways to start engaging. There's the Q&A box, which you'll be able to use in the webinar session. And I'll be tracking that, and Yash Thacker, who's one of our programmers in the group, will also be tracking that and helping to manage questions as they're coming into sessions. The chat, of course, is open, and lots of people are already putting in, you know, their status and jumping in on that. And then at the poster session tomorrow, we're using a new technology called, oops, I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about the new technology we're using to engage with folks at the poster session. Real quickly, I want to thank our organizing committee. This includes folks from WashU, University College London, Institute for Cancer Research in the UK. They put together a really interesting program that I think everybody's going to enjoy quite a bit. I'd also like to just thank our sponsoring organizations, my own lab here at WashU, the Cancer Research UK, National Cancer Imaging Translational Accelerator, and CETA, and the Health and Bioscience Ideas Training Program at the University College London. We had originally imagined this was going to be a live session, you know, a workshop to be hosted in London. Unfortunately, it had to be virtual, but I do anticipate we will get that London workshop in before long with this same group of sponsoring organizations. So definitely stay tuned for that. Hopefully we can aim for spring or summer of 2022. So just a quick overview of our programming. I'm going to give the first talk, just kind of giving a background for those who are less familiar with where XNAT has come from, and then talk a little bit about where we are today and where we're heading down the road. And we have a variety of different kinds of sessions. We're going to do roundtables where we have experts coming in and discussing in a roundtable sort of format various topics. And then we're going to break out into some case studies where we really dig deeper into some particular topics, including XNAT for cancer research, XNAT machine learning, and large computational data sets in XNAT. So that'll take us through today. So today will be just the roundtables and case studies. And then tomorrow we'll have a couple of different kinds of sessions where we take a deeper dive in kind of a town hall type of forum into a number of kind of hot topics where hosts will present on kind of the state of things, what's done, what still needs to be done. And then we'll open the floor in each of those sessions to really get engagement from attendees on their thoughts on those topics. And then finally, we'll have a couple hours of a poster session using a technology called spatial chat. So we'll actually drop off of Zoom and join this spatial chat service, which I have to say I had never used before. I was a little skeptical about it, but we did a walkthrough last week and it's a ton of fun. So it's, for those who haven't used it, it looks something like this. Our layout may be a little bit different, but you have a number of different rooms and you've got your own little avatar, which is kind of like a little streaming video view. And then you can just wander between rooms, find posters and sessions of interest. And as you enter that room, you just kind of start to hear the audio and you can talk to the folks around you. And as you move to another room, it just picks up the audio from those other sessions. And it really, of all the kind of virtual technologies I've used, feels the most like a live session. We'll have poster rooms included during the session, but we'll also have some other rooms. We have a video room if you want to just go and kind of check out some past recordings. And we'll have a demo room where you can see some demos of some live XNAT instances and some of the more recent functionality that we've put into XNAT. And that'll be a particularly good place to find folks from the XNAT team. If you have questions or want to talk about anything, just find our avatars, you know, in this environment, and we can even go to private rooms to chat about topics and learn more about your projects. And in addition to just you know, talking to folks from the XNAT team, feel free to mingle amongst others who are attending. I think there's even a lounge where you can hang out and drink a virtual drink and listen to some kind of swanky jazz. So it'll be a lot of fun, I think. Might be a slightly chaotic as we've never done this before, but I think it'll be a lot of fun and a great way for everybody to get engaged.